All right, I didn't think I was going to do another video this week, but Joanna Highland put a comment in there in one of the videos about she's working on the blues right now. She's a high school student, working on a couple of keys of blues, and I probably understand why. I think she might have an audition coming up, and there's 2 keys for the blues that are required for her to improvise over. And so she was asking some questions. So this is going to be a pretty basic, those of you that are looking for like maybe higher level blues theory, substitute chord, I'm not doing that today. Okay, this is all going to be about basically the blues scale and 1 step beyond. Okay, the blues scale and 1 step beyond. So what is the most important thing when you're playing really over anything? And it's going to be your rhythm. So my advice when you're starting to play over blues, or you're starting to play over anything at all, less is more. Think about rhythms, and specifically in the blues gives, lends itself to a lot of this idea of kind of call and response that can be based around this wonderful blues scale that we all know and love. I'm hoping that you all know and love it. It's 1, 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, and then 8. So that scale, the blues scale, it gets a bad rap. It really is a great thing to solo over, but you got to use it wisely. So I have a backing track to help me with this today. I'm hoping it's going to come across. But I'm going to do a concert B flat blues, and the first chorus through, I am just going to play the blues scale, meaning these notes that I played. Okay, I may not even do them all at one point, but I'm going to try to do maybe some call and response. So here we go. So you heard that I went pretty simple. I'm just using the notes of the blues scale. Now that would be an acceptable solo. But again, if you're just going to use a blues scale, that's great. But in all of it, you've got to have good rhythm. You've got to have good rhythm. So I'm trying to do some memorable lines, things that you could, I'm allowing space. I'm not going crazy on this. As far as rhythm goes, I'm trying to be pretty simplistic. Now, there is 1 step further that will help, and I'm going to add 2 notes to your blues scale, and I'm hoping that this idea will really help. So I'm going to add a major third. Now, I'm dealing with a little bit of fire here because if you use these inappropriately or in the wrong spots, it's going to sound bad. If you use these correctly, then you're going to sound like, oh, they know the changes. And you're going beyond just the blues scale. So here's the first one, a major third. So I'm in C for the tenor, so an E natural. So I've got C, E flat, then E natural. Now 4, sharp 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and 1. So now, here's what we're going to do. I always call this major to minor. The idea of major to minor. So whenever I have a C7, I'm going to go with the major sound. And I'll explain it in a second. When I have an F7, I'm going to go minor sound. So that means this. Here would be major. 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to use the 2 as well. 1, 2, 3, right up the scale. When I go minor, 1, 2, flat 3. So now I'm just going to do that on the C and the F7 chords. This diminished, don't worry about it. It'll work. And on the rest of it, I'm just going to use the blues scale. So check out how even this is going to open up the sound. Major to minor. Okay, so there you go. Major to minor. I'm using the major third over the 1 chord, the minor third, which would be the E flat, over the 4 chord, which is this F7. Now, why does that E flat work? Well, because the E flat is the minor 7 over the F7 chord. A lot of theory. But if you just remember major, major to minor, major, you could throw that in, and that will really expand your ideas here on the blues. One more idea though, if you use the 6, a lot of people forget about the 6th. So what's the 6 in the key of C? C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6. If I use the A, and I use a pattern like this, 1 to 6 to 5 to 1. So I'm just going to use those ideas. 1, 6, 5, and flat 3. They're the only notes I'm going to use. Here we go. Space. That sound just opens everything up. So now I'm not just using, but now I add the major third, I add the 6th. So now if I combine all those 3 things, right? Blues scale, major to minor, and then adding this idea with a 6th. Check it out. Here's how it will work here. And again, this is, oops, sorry. This is, technology and me don't go well together. All right, this is all going to increase your vocabulary. Here's the major. There was a 6. So all the stuff I added in there, I added a major third, I added a 6, and I added a 2 every once in a while. But all based off of originally on the blues scale. So now, how do you expand? Well, first thing, you really need to be comfortable playing a blues over playing this blues using just a blues scale. So you can create just using one scale, and less is more. Think about singable lines. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ways that you could actually vocalize it and sing it, and then someone could possibly sing it back to you. And then put it on the horn. And then when you feel comfortable with that, maybe try the major to minor, major third over the 1 chord, minor third over the 4 chord. And then utilize that 1 to 6, 5, 1 sound. Ba-do-do-dee-da-do-da-do-da-dee-da. That idea. Now again, my singing is terrible. It's terrible. But I'm able to vocalize and then put it on the horn. So I know exactly what I'm playing, what I'm singing, it's going to come through the horn. So the more that you can do that kind of stuff, that's going to internalize it. Don't worry so much about arpeggiating all of the chords right now and knowing all of that. Think about a blues scale and make a statement with a blues scale. When you feel good with that, add the major third over the 1 chord. Go to the minor on the 4 chord, meaning make sure you have the flat 3, because if you hit the major on the 4 chord, that's not going to sound good. That's going to be bad. And then utilize that 6th. These are all great blues sounds that are just one step really beyond the blues scale. All right. I hope this helps. And now I really am done for the week. A little bit of oversaturation. I apologize. But I wanted to answer that question because I know people will be practicing this weekend. All right. Hope it helps.